Inventors! What's really good? I'm Lily, the twirling tech goddess. I'm black, I dance, I'm queer, and I'm an engineer. Welcome to the TWIRCH Shop, a show that explicitly encourages radical diversity and inclusion by making the process of learning tech more fun, accessible, and relatable to people underrepresented in STEM. Each week you'll come along with me as I create something fabulous using cutting-edge tools and technologies. Then I'll put it through my patented twirl test to make sure that it's stage ready. That's right, we twirl with our tech, because you know what they say, the family that slays together increases their socioeconomic status together. On this episode, we're coming to you live from Building 61, Boulder Library Makerspace. And today we are celebrating. That's right, we got our confetti, blew up all of these balloons, about to pop these bottles. Cause you know what today? We have our very first, drum roll please, sponsored episode. That's right, inventors. This video is sponsored by Cosgear, a Norwegian-based cosplay electronics and animatronics startup. Well, the good folks over at Cosgear have been kind enough to send us over one of the coolest products in the whole motherfucking internet. And there's a lot of dope shit on the internet. There's a lot of weird shit on the internet too, and a lot of mediocre shit. This show and today's technology definitely both fall into the same category of dope shit on the internet, and the law of attraction states dope shit of a feather flock together. Don't it? So, the folks over at Cosgear in Norway, did I mention they're from Norway? Shout out to Norway. They've sent us over their newest invention. Please welcome to the stage, the Costail. Yes, folks, this is a fully articulated electronic tail. And guess what else? They gave us a coupon code. For all my inventors, go over to cosgear.co and use the discount code GODDESS for 10% off. So we're gonna unbox this beauty, talk a little bit about the technology that went into making it. We'll assemble it together, then put it through the rigorous twirl test to make sure that it's stage ready when we hit the streets. But first, a little backstory. So we all have Catwoman to blame for everything that's about to go down in this video. From Eartha Kitt, whoo, to Michelle Pfeiffer, whoo, to Halle Berry, whoo. I have always had a fascination and an obsession with this character. I can honestly attribute that to the performances of these actresses though. Then you have my obsession with the Broadway musical cats, which I used to watch on PBS growing up. Shout out to public broadcasting for bringing productions such as Broadway musicals into the homes of inner city kids like myself at the time. Memory! It seems like everywhere I turn, Garfield, Jason Derulo, all my faves are cats. The funny thing is though, I don't really like cats in real life, historically speaking. Since an incident with my neighbor's cat as a child, where I picked him up and I was loving on him and he scratched me on my chest, like right here. I'll never forget it. I was so traumatized. I mean, I thought we were friends. I have a new neighbor cat named Miko though. Shout out to Miko. She and I are doing some emotional work together to help in healing my childhood trauma around cats. She's pretty sweet, so I think it's working. Comment below if you have had a sordid past with our feline friends. Anyways, the costume that we're gonna be building to go with the Costail is an homage to all of my favorite cat references. That, sprinkled with a little bit of sex appeal from the starlets of the screen, and then accentuated by the new Costail. This should be a project to remember. Who doesn't love a tail, right? Shout out to my cousin Danny for making me this dope ass t-shirt. We stan. She has her own shop, Charmed by Varese, and it's full of all things sparkly and shining, but with a special personalized touch, which we love. So please go and show her some love at Charmed by Varese on Instagram and Facebook. Love you guys. Now let's crack this puppy open and see how it twerks. Materials! The Costail has a tail casing that includes a motor and electronics. The electronics have a sensor that detects your body movements and tells the motor how to move. Therefore, the Costail follows your every move. The Costail mainly moves in two ways. One, based on your movement. The Costail moves best when you shift your weight from side to side, like when you walk or move your hips. The tail is unique to each person because no one moves like you do. Two, when standing still. When the tail is on and you haven't been moving for 5 seconds, the tail enters a pause mode. This mode moves the tail casually while you're taking a break. It's customizable. The Costail is made for cosplayers and costumers everywhere, and they wanted to enable our creativity as much as possible. So they've created a base tail that you can build on with a unique technology built in. The Costail is therefore customizable in 3 ways. The tail shape. You can change the shape of the tail by tightening the screw at the top. Alter it to your costume, be it a loose tail or a tight one with a high upturned tip. Need to change your shape? Tighten it or loosen it to your liking in seconds. 2, the tail length. If you want a long tail with smooth and big movement, then you'll use the whole kit to the full length. If you want a shorter tail, you'll use the shorter kit to get quick and fun movements when you move. 3, the tail cover. They worried about all of the movement of the tail so we don't have to. So now we can just create whatever tail color we want to fit our cosplay. This is the Costail DIY kit. The Costail is developed and produced in Norway and comes as a DIY kit. It can be assembled in 5 minutes with no tools and is done in the snap of a finger. 1, connect the tail segments. 2, thread the string through the tail, fasten it at the bottom. 3, put the wire through the tail, fasten it to the box. 4, connect this cord to the power bank and the box. 5, fasten the tail to the harness. Bam, 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 bam. So, how's it powered, you ask? The Costail is powered by a power bank that is connected to the tail box. The power bank gives the tail a battery life of 5 hours of continuous use. This means that if you have to run around for 5 hours straight at a convention, you have a charge in your power bank and don't have to switch to a new one. You got plenty of shit to do, you can wear this tail all day. The power bank has a button on the side that you use to turn the tail on and off. There, off. So you press it once to turn it on, press it twice, turns it off. Super handy. The power bank is connected to the Costail using this USB-C cable. This way you can place the power bank where it suits your costume. How do you put it on, you ask? Let me show you. The Costail is fastened using these belts. The belts are fastened to this harness, and this sits comfortably on your lower back. The tail slides into the harness with ease, and you put it on using these easy 3 steps. 1, put the included belts into the harness. You don't have to use the included belts if you prefer your own solution. 2, put the tail into the harness. It can now be taken on and off without removing the belt or the harness. 3, fasten the belt and the tail around your waist with the harness on your lower back. So how does it sound? The Costail's unique tail movements are made by a small electronic servo motor. They worked really hard to reduce the sound to a minimum, yet it does give out a sound, although it is lowered when the Costail is wrapped in a tail cover. It's really difficult to describe the level of sound. So what do you think? The sound is not too bad to me, and is definitely low enough not to be an issue for the style of performances I'd be using this costume for. I, for one, appreciate sound response in order to confirm that the tail is working. I wouldn't be able to just sit here in the TWIRCH shop and talk to you all with the engine just going on in the background, or sit in a lecture at school. So to all my full-time furries, something to consider is turning it off in class, and then back on when you're sashaying down the boisterous hallway between classes. Comment below if you're a furry. Although I have an entire conceptual vision for the full cat costume, for this episode, I'll just be showing you how to make a cover for your tail, and for that, we'll need a few things. First, she's a regular on this show. Please welcome to the stage our handy dandy, the scissors. You'll also need fabric, measuring tape. I'm gonna use a sewing machine for the final look, but if that's not accessible for you, you can use a glue gun or fabric adhesive. For this video, I'm gonna use a glue gun, just for fun. The last thing you'll need is at least one of your 9 lives, which you may or may not have left if you've watched my other videos, because I've been murdering you bitches with my fashion. So let's strategize. I think I'm just gonna trace an outline of the tail onto the fabric, fold it over on itself with some room for seam allowance, then just hem it with the glue. And then I'm gone. Bag it. Let's get started. I've already told you how I plan to pop this pussy, but I invite you to share in the joy of this project by going over to cosgear.co and using the discount code GODDESS for 10% off. Be sure to tag us in your cosplay posts if this video has inspired anything in you, celebrating the innovation that can come through creative expression. We all know by now that a wearable isn't useful to me unless it can fall out of a tree and always land on its feet. So I'm gonna go get dressed, and I'll see you in my natural habitat. Bring it back. Like, share, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications! And remember, human beings, for one reason or another, may hide their feelings, but a cat does not. This program was made possible with the generous financial support of the Boulder Library Foundation. To learn more and find out how you can get involved and help fund future library programs, visit boulderlibraryfoundation.org today. Bring it back.